So, Andreas hier für die Kulturarena Berichterstattung und heute bei mir Fred Kind von The Slow Show. Welcome here in Jena. I think you have an easy travel and I would like to know, I know that it's your last date of the tour you gave in the last month and yeah, what can we expect tonight and how just describe a little bit you feel the tour you have behind us.
Okay. It's a very short tour. We haven't played many shows this year, so we decided to take it easy because we're writing a new album. So you're right, it's our last date, but it didn't feel like much of a tour. Normally we're away for weeks. This time it's days. So, which is nice because we still felt that there was actually agreed to not do any shows this year, but we didn't like that. So we do still like to go out there and play, even more almost when we write, because writing is a really lonely thing to do, and you want to play for people. We're not playing new songs, but even then, you want to go out and play music. So it's been great. We've had over the last 2 or 3 months, I think about 10 shows, not more. So we picked a few that we really wanted to do. So, and Jena is one of them.
A few small places. Yeah. You also, and at the beginning of your tour, you played some big festivals like Haldon Pop and so, and you became famous here in Germany. Is there any difference between if you play a big festival and like a small venue here?
Yes, there is. I mean, it's a bit. They're all different. Yeah, the big shows. It's nice to do a bit of everything. If it was only big shows, I think we would lack the feeling of the closeness with the audience, because obviously, as you can tell, our music is quite intimate and sensitive, and it's nice to feel the audience reaction to see them. It's that sort of connection we want. And when we first started playing festivals, I think we all struggled a little bit with the distance that there's even physically, there's a big barrier usually to people, especially big festivals. Then you get in an indoors venue, in a venue that we normally play in our churches and stuff. So that took a while to adjust, but that's fine now. We have adjusted to that. And then again, big and small. I think we have to, obviously, when we grow as a band, we have to accept to do bigger shows, obviously, and it makes sense to do them. So we just adapt. We like them both now. But yeah, there was a time where we rather play to a small audience. Yeah.
Okay, then so Jena seems to be a perfect venue for you, I think.
It's a nice little middle sort of size, I think.
Yeah.
It's from what I've just walked in, so it looks really nice. Yeah, and we really look forward to it. It looks nice, cozy, but still, get quite a few people in there. It'd be nice.
Okay. You just mentioned that you're recording a new album. Just give a little review of your starting with your first album. It was with orchestra and a little more, not aggressive, but loudly. And then you make this outstanding second album.
Thank you.
And now, what we can expect on the third album? You just want to renew you, or?
It's not going to be totally different, but there will be obviously new elements. We feel the second album was almost an extension of the first one. Everyone sees it differently, obviously. I don't know about you, but we felt there was a bit more in the tank, like the stuff we did on album one, with the tools we used, the little the sort of instruments, the sort of ideas, production ideas. We used them, a lot of that again in the second album, Dream Darling, but to like more of an extreme, I thought, more choir. This time we'll be using those elements that we feel people like about us, but there'll be some new things too. I mean, it's hard to describe. We're still also working on it, on the sound of it. We have songs already written, but we don't. It's not certain how they will end up. It could be big, it could be small. There'll be a bit of everything again.
Yeah.
Well, we'll take a bit longer than we did for album 2, so and that's one of the reasons we're sort of exploring things a bit without losing our identity. You know, the usual issue in the new album, really.
Okay, you said it's an extension from the second was from the first album. Was hard for you? Then there is this myth about the second album will be the hardest album in the career of a band.
Yeah, for us it's this one, I think.
Okay.
Feels harder than the second one. I felt, like I said, we had plenty of ideas left from album 1 to put into album 2. Album 2 was written very fast, a matter of months, and was made as well in the same time. We wrote album 2 at the same time as the production, the recording. So it was a process of 3 months or so, 4 months, which is very fast because album 1 took years.
Okay. Yeah.
And now we'll probably go somewhere in the middle. You know, it's not going to take very long, but it's not going to take 2 months either. It's going to take longer.
Don't let the pain drag you down this time. Don't let your guard fall down this time. Don't let the pain drag you down this time. Don't let the pains fool your arms this time. This time I'll be honest, you'll see. 'Cause you're better on your own without me. Don't you forget about me, don't you forget about me. This time I'll be honest, you'll see. 'Cause you're better on your own without me. Don't you forget about me, don't you forget about me. Don't let the pain drag you down this time. Don't let your guard fall down this time. Don't let the drains drag you down this time. Don't let the pains fool your arms this time. This time I'll be honest, you'll see. 'Cause you're better on your own without me. Don't you forget about me, don't you forget about me. This time I'll be honest, you'll see. 'Cause you're better on your own without me. Don't you forget about me, don't you forget about me. This time I'll be honest, and you'll see. 'Cause you're better on your own without me. Don't you forget about me. Don't you forget about me. This time I'll be honest. You'll see. 'Cause you're better on your own without me. Don't you forget about me. Don't you forget about me.
Maybe you can tell us about your writing process. You say it's a very lonely process.
Yeah.
If you have first the lyrics, or you go together in the studio like a jam, or do you have a melody?
Well, we don't actually all live close by anymore. We started off a few years ago. We all lived within a few miles of each other, so we meet up a lot. This time, people have moved a bit for family reasons and etc. So we have to improvise a bit, and we send each other stuff, email. We all have means now to re-record ideas at home, and I'm in charge of putting it all in our system too. You know, I'm sort of doing the sound ideas production in my home studio. Yeah. So I have a home studio. Yeah. So they either come to me or they send me things, and I then sort of analyze it. We throw it together, then it's sending back and forth. It's a long process because we want everyone to be happy with everything we do. So if we have a good idea and I love it and I live with it for a week, get excited about it, I can't get excited until they've all heard it because someone might not really feel it, and then we don't use it. So that's why it can take a long time. What you hear is maybe 10 songs, but we probably had about 50. And a lot of them don't make it, so the most of the time goes into the things you never hear. So it's a little bit annoying, isn't it? But the process is long. There's never a rule what we start with. Could be anything. Yesterday Chris played a drum beat in the sound check that I just really liked. He was messing about and I put it on my phone, recorded it. So I'll go home and see if it might never be used, but it can come from anywhere. So, but Rob does the lyrics. So that's the one constant. He writes the words, but the music, there's no rule. Anyone can come up with something cool. So it's a lot of talking about it, and there's a lot of we had to learn not to get too precious about our own ideas, because you can work on something and put strings on it, horns on it, or choir, anything, make it really big, and then get so excited about it, but then a month later, we also want to be able to leave the song for a month and not listen to it, then come back to it. And that's the only way you can imagine hearing it for the first time like our audience will. And that's the hardest thing when you write, because you get used to anything when you hear it enough times. So you hear it again and then like, God, it's not good. And then to take all the things off that you spent so much time on, it's just really difficult. But we've learned that, so we have to be ruthless. And some songs end up being just the piano again. Okay. So whatever's best for the song, and whatever time it takes to come to that, the best version that suits the song. So, yeah.
Do you have at the moment a band you admire or an album you buy it at least?
Ooh, it varies a lot. I listen to a lot of film music. Okay. Yeah, it just opens your mind to different sounds because they have to be so creative, the film composers. I like a composer called Daniel Pemberton. Okay. And his score for the Steve Jobs film. Yeah. There's been a few films made about Steve Jobs, but the one that sort of made it to the screens. Yeah. I really like. I'm not sure about the film, but the music I thought was excellent.
Then thank you for the opportunity to give us just a little bit inside view.
Yes, pleasure.
The last 3 or 4 hours here to starting the show. Yeah. I think we are really looking forward to your show.
Great, and, we are too.
Give some kinds to your guys, and okay. We are also hoping you come back with a new album May next year.
We hope so too, because we always do the big cities, and it's nice to come to the smaller ones, isn't it? So hopefully on the next tour we can do that.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much.